Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 10 of my TCW series for Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. Now, tonight's episode, of course, is going to be the go-home show for The Water Settle the Score, which is the next pay-per-view, which will be coming in the next episode as well. We've got an interesting couple of matches, and then, of course, a couple of angles as well that are really going to add to the storylines, and we should hopefully have another match or two booked in for the pay-per-view, of course. Anyway, let's get into the pre-show match. We have a 69C rated match here. In a pre-show bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, Joshua Taylor, Matt Hocking, and Mighty Mo defeated Jeremy Courtney, Rudy Velasquez, and Nate Johnson in 10 minutes 3 seconds when Mighty Mo defeated Nate Johnson by pinfall with a plunging spinebuster. As you'd expect, Joshua Taylor head and shoulders above everybody else. He's also improving in flying skills. And then we have Nate Johnson improving in technical skills. And finally, Jeremy Courtney improving in performance skills there as well. Wow, okay. We then start the show off with a 94A Menace promo from the Behemoths. So they're getting over. Which is really good. It's really important as well. Needs to happen. But again, I said it in the last episode, their skills, unfortunately, are just not progressing as fast as we sort of need them to. And they're still quite some time away from actually being able to put on a good match. Anyway, going into a squash match, which gets a 60C. That's actually not too bad. That's not too bad. In about they had subpar wrestling and little heat. The Behemoths defeated Brennan Idol and Remy Honeyman in 8 minutes 9 seconds when Killer Shark defeated Remy Honeyman by pinfall with a big bite. And then apparently Titan was head and shoulders above everybody else in the match with a 60 in-ring performance. Okay, that's not too bad. Worker improvements, we've got Titan improving in performance skills, Brendan Idol improving in technical, Remy Honeyman, of course, the two jobbers that I hired locally, he's improving in performance skills. And then we also have Killer Shark improving in performance skills. So that's exactly what we wanted. Basically, these guys both have really good selling and stamina, which is the reason why I chose them over a couple of other people. I was going to bring Austin Smooth, of course, the 21-year-old. He's not too bad. And he's shortlisted for me, with me at the moment. And he's obviously the type of guy that we could bring in. We could bring him in now to be a jobber, but I don't want to, inflate the roster too much. I like bringing in these local workers. I could do that with him, and I probably will bring him in, once every 2 or 3 months, just to get people over, with squash matches and stuff like that. But I think that's really helped, and I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, the stamina's probably one of the biggest issues. So if I can get the Behemoth stamina up, that'd be massive. We then go into a 99 A-star promo from the man himself, Rocky Golden. And of course, his match, we'll get it pre-booked in now. It is going to be against Troy Tornado. Of course, they did take it on each other. I think it was in the first episode after the last pay-per-view, where Troy Tornado got himself involved in Rocky's match with Aaron Andrews for the World Heavyweight title. Of course, a bit of an alliance formed between Troy Tornado and Aaron Andrews. So yeah, that's booked in. Obviously, we've got a lot of singles matches there. Anyway, moving on. Really good promo, as you'd sort of expect from Rocky. Next segment. We get a 79B with a Rocky match. In a decent match, Rocky Golden defeated Hector Galindo in 10:30 by pinfall with a Rocky Road. And then during the match, we also had Rudy Velasquez, Hector's tag team partner, in the Latino Kings run in and attack Rocky. Pretty good match. Good stuff. We then go into a bit of a throwaway match, a 66C+. In a bout that had decent wrestling and didn't have much heat, American Buffalo and New Legacy defeated Flying Jimmy Fox and the Dynamite Express in 7:47 when Buffalo defeated Cameron Jones by pinfall with the Stampede. And we have Jay Cord improving in technical skills there. Good stuff. We then go into a 70C plus Divine Fortune backstage promo. Of course, these two, Daryl's talking about how he tried to avenge Chance last week and how it backfired massively. And Chance is sort of talking about how, he's been recovering at home last week from the brutal backstage attack by the Behemoths. And these two are they're getting themselves back on the same page, getting themselves ready, talking strategy on how they're going to take down the big man and try and win the titles. Not a bad promo. We then go into their match, which gets a 71C+. Another 6-man tag, sort of throwaway, not throwaway match, but it's to build them up a little bit going into the pay-per-view, give them a bit of momentum. In a decent match, Dazzling Dave Diamond and Divine Fortune defeated Brent Hill, Joel Bryant, and Kirk Jamison in 9:34 when Daryl Divine defeated Kirk Jamison by pinfall with the Divine Dream Drop. We have a couple of... perfect. Both Daryl Divine and Chance Fortune improving. Chance improving in performance and Daryl improving in technical skills. We then go into a 71C+ again, this time for a segment or an angle with Danny Fonzarelli and Benny Benson. And basically, Danny Fonzarelli says that he has Benny Benson's back tonight and for the foreseeable future as well. Sort of a bit of a tag team possibly forming between these two. I didn't actually realise, but Danny Fonzarelli is a former tag team champion with the Darkness Warrior, which I thought was really interesting. Very, very odd, and I never really realised that or noticed it when I had played with TCW in the past, like 3 years ago. We also have Benny Benson there learning to show more charisma as well, which is only going to help. And he's, of course, got his match up next against Eddie Peak. Of course, if Eddie Peak wins, he will get a big match for the pay-per-view. The match itself does really well. ATB. In a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Eddie Peak does defeat Benny Benson in 1951 by pinfall with a peak of perfection. 78 in-ring performance from Eddie there. And he's also improving in performance skills. Good stuff. 87B+. So now Eddie Peak cuts a promo and he wants to take on Human Arsenal at the pay-per-view. Basically a former respectable main eventer and a guy that's still got a lot left in the tank. And he, in his mind, Eddie Peak sees that as the type of match that could really get him back into that main event. Well, he's already a main eventer, but back into the main event scene where he wants to be trying to become the number one contender for the world title, as you would sort of expect. So yeah, Human Arsenal versus Eddie Peak. I think that's a pretty good match, to be honest, and I think it should rate pretty well. I would expect about an 80 for it, in my opinion, if we do give it 20 minutes. I can't find Human Arsenal. There we go. All right. So there we go. That's 6-7 matches booked in for War to settle the score. We then go into, I think this is the main event actually, 88B+, in a bout that had superb wrestling and good heat. Wolf Hawkins and Aaron Andrews defeated the New Wave in 25-28 when Wolf Hawkins defeated Guide by pinfall with a Full Moon Rising. We also had Rocky Golden at the announce desk as well. Just there on commentary. He's the ace of the company. Of course, still, wants to... Well, he still wants a rematch, even though he's not deserved one for the way that things went down at Malice in Wonderland with Troy Tornado, essentially screwing him over from being able to win back his World Heavyweight title. And of course, him and Wolf Hawkins, they know each other pretty well as well. So yeah, 88B+, 1 point off an A. So I think that's a really good rating. Lots of worker improvements here as well. We've got Scout and Guide in technical skills, Guide in performance skills as well. And then we also have Aaron Andrews in performance skills. So all in all, I think that's a really good main event. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, in terms of storyline purposes, but actually, basically what we'll do is we'll give Wolf Hawkins a match for the pay-per-view as well. Let's do a one-on-one. We'll do Wolf Hawkins versus Scout. I think that should be a pretty good match. Gives Wolf something to do. Gives Scout something to do. Of course, he didn't actually lose that match. That was Guide that took the pinfall. So there we go. That makes a bit more sense now. Anyway, the overall show rating, so close. So close. A 76B-. Again, increasing the popularity in Canada, and it's still probably just a little bit too low to be holding off as we have lost popularity in every region in the United States. But we are at 76 popularity, so it would be very, very close, which isn't really a bad thing. Albeit, I would like to drop down a cult sort of as soon as possible. Anyway, the TV rating is a 6.60, which is up about 0.12. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Alrighty. We'll have a little look at the popularity. I don't think it's going to have changed. No, it hasn't. But I think that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Of course, join me back for the next one, which will be the War to Settle the Score, the big pay-per-view. Of course, where's the pre-booking? We've got all these matches already booked in. Really looking forward to it, of course. We got what? All the titles are on the line as well, so it's going to be a good pay-per-view. I think there's a lot of good matches there. Some unpredictable matches as well. I would say that Sammy Back versus Brian Vesey, I'm not even sure who I'm going to have win that match. Behemoth versus Divine Fortune. Are the Behemoths ready to continue to run with the titles? Possibly not. Possibly not. RDJ, American Buffalo, that one's probably a little bit more obvious, I would say. And then the main event, I mean, Joshua Taylor's really good. He's really good as well. Aaron Andrews, only had 2 title defenses? Sorry, he's only had 1 title defense against Rocky Gold, and of course, yeah, he won it in that Fatal 4-Way match. So it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. And I'm looking forward to the pay-per-view, especially the booking side of it. But of course, you guys will be watching the other side of it in terms of the ratings. So yeah, give this video a like, guys, if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel as well. And if you hit the notification bell, turn on the notifications there. And that should hopefully keep you up to date with all these episodes coming out in the future. Apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.